Hi, everybody. The hosts of Eurovision 2020 has just been confirmed, and they are Edsilia Rombley, Chantal Janzen, and Jan Smith. And I'm with Costa and Nick to discuss. So let's get on with it. I'll start things off. I'm not really surprised that Edsilia is on the list. I mean, I have been to Eurovision concert and she's hosted it actually, so I'm quite happy about that just because of the fact that former Eurovision contestants and they've done the full circle, and it's kind of like it's kind of nice to see that progression from like being a participant to now, like, you're showing your culture to like nearly 200 million people. And I'm pretty sure that she'll do a great job, like she has done for the Eurovision events. um Jan Smith, like, I've heard a bit of a mixed reception with him, so I don't know quite what to say about those things, but I mean, I still need to learn more about him and his work, but we'll see how that goes on. And Chantal, I mean, I've heard quite a few things about her, but I know she's a singer, and I've seen a bit of a clip where she does Wicked. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, when she sings flawlessly. So, I mean, they're all singers, so I don't know if they'll use that to their advantage in the stage, but we'll see. I'll pass it on to you guys. So, Nick, what
Yeah.
do you think?
Oh, goodness.
Oh God. Well, I mean, the moment we won, we all knew Jan Smit was going to be one of our hosts. I'm not that thrilled about it, but I know Avrotros and MPO just had to do it. What you need to know is that the broadcasting system in the Netherlands works with different broadcasters on one channel. So NPO is hosting it, but they're doing it together with two separate broadcasters, being NOS and Avrotros.
Hmm.
And from the moment we won, or the moment it was announced, we knew that Avrotros would be supplying one of the hosts. And Jan Smit, well, he's an obvious choice. I mean, he's been the commentator for a couple of years, so yes. But Avrotros had two fantastic women on board, Dionne Staks and Eva Jinek. Well, Eva Jinek was with the KRO, but anyway. And Dionne Staks got to host one of the biggest gigs here, the TV award show in October, and she completely blew it. And I think Avrotros sort of panicked and knew, okay, we can't ask her to do this now, so we go back to Jan Smit. The problem with Jan is that he's now stuck at home with a burnout. He can't work. He's cancelled all of his gigs, all of his performances, all of his shows. And I just hope he can get back on track before the big things start coming in. Chantal, Chantal is a dream come true, I think. She's with a competing network. She's with a commercial broadcaster, RTL. So the fact that MPO have gone and said, well, we need you, um, is a defeat. On the other hand, it's a defeat with their heads held high
Yep.
because they know exactly who they needed. This is the woman who can sing, who can act. She's witty. She's to the point. She knows exactly what she needs to do. And she's the most loved character in the Netherlands. And then we get to Celia. Well, yeah, she's hosted concerts before, but she's never done well. She's done one or two TV shows, but that's about it. So her experience in hosting a TV show is limited, um, which is surprising. But if you see the clip of her in the talk show where she was, whenever it was announced, where she does all these languages, German and French and English, you just know she's going to be one big laugh on that stage. And that's really good. So mildly positive, let's call it that.
Yeah, just to kind of follow on from that. First, I'm glad it's only 3 hosts. I think that's the maximum. I mean, not everyone's capable of Iron Manning Eurovision like Petra Mede, but I think they've got a good team. I mean, Jan, I don't hate him like a lot of people seem to. I mean, firstly, thank you, Nick, for all the backstage tea. I mean, I forget how dramatic Dutch broadcasting is. You never think it, but you like over the years you've really supplied us with a lot of scalding hot goss about the things that happen, which is always helpful. We're expecting a lot more of that in the coming months. I think all three of them are capable of putting together a good show. They've got confidence and experience, and they're quite polished. It's not like they've got some random actors who are like Dutch but live in America, which is kind of the Portuguese approach, and that kind of didn't quite work as well. I think these guys are very well they're showbiz trained, and they're performers, not just celebrities. So I think that's going to serve them well. Chantal and Edsilia, as we've said, are singers, so I'm expecting some good numbers from them, which I always love. I love a good sing song on the stage from the presenters. So I'm expecting just some really, and I think another thing which I don't know, it's not really a dig necessarily, but I'm looking forward to having some presenters with a good grasp of the English language, because I think that has been lacking. And I speak as someone who grew up bilingual, was born in the UK, and has a lot of family members who can't speak English. I just personally prefer presenters presenting in English to be able to speak English well. I'm not one of these people who thinks every act who participates in Eurovision should be able to speak English fluently. I absolutely do not think that. But if you're hosting the contest, you should be able to speak English. And I know all three of them can speak English. So I'm excited to have a more fluid show, and to have a bit more humor, because it's hard to convey humor when your grasp of English isn't strong. And I think that's an advantage of going back to Western Europe for a Eurovision. Again, people can come for me for that, but I stand by it.
I mean, overall, I mean, it's quite a good mix of people. I mean, I'm really curious right now because, I mean, I've seen most of them in their own worlds, but it's just this will be the first time like you're combining three different personalities. But the fact that they've all got some sort of like grasp on how the contest works, I know, like I've noticed previously, like not all of the hosts got a good grasp of the contest. So I think now where you've got some sort of like who knows a little bit more about it, I think if you're in a role, like you'd want to have learned or got some sort of experience with it. So I think with these three hosts, I think that with the history that they know the contest itself, I think would be beneficial, because I think for some previous years there's like they just stuck someone on, like, oh, actually I've just finished watching the contest. Like, you're hosting a contest with 200 million people watching and you just learned about it.
I mean, just look at the orange carpet from Tel Aviv, and you understand what Tim is talking about. I think what it'll come down to is, do the three of them have chemistry? If they don't, it'll fall flat. If they do, it'll be great. Regardless, I'm expecting this to be one of the more polished shows that we've seen in the last few years. I think since we've kind of gone from Scandinavia to countries that aren't as polished in the way they broadcast, without being patronizing and derogative, I think we're going to have a very different feel to this year, which I'm excited about, because I think it's kind of the polish of the Scandinavian run that we had earlier in the century has been lost. So we'll see what the Dutch can do. That's kind of my final remark on it.
Well, I think if you think about chemistry between these three, I think the danger is Jan Smit. If you see Chantal and Edsilia together, you just know these two will get along just fine. And I hope that the broadcaster sees that as well and just sticks those two on as main presenters for the entire show. Stick Jan Smit in the green room. I don't know what he wants to do. Just keep him there. Credit where credit is due. Jan does have a big career in Germany as well, and you may have seen these big Schlager shows on German TV in the weekend. He occasionally hosts those as well, and I mean that's a TV show with 10,000 people in an arena, so he knows what he's doing there. Then again, he just doesn't have the humor or spontaneous side to him that the two girls do. So that's you know. But I do think all three will be singing. I mean, you can't stick Edsilia Rombley on the stage and tell her to not sing. She will be singing. Chantal could develop into the next Pietra Mede. She could.
Wow, big words from Nick there.
Yeah,
Let's wait and see. I hope so. I mean, we need more Petras in the world, especially in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think we've kind of juiced this lemon for the time being. I don't know where that came from.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, one thing. Edsilia Rombley has already said that she would like to do the green room, and I just hope they're going to say, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
I mean, Conchita kind of stole the show in 2015.
Well, so did Filomena in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
I think the green room's not a bad position to be in, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think if they think about it, because Eurovision participant to fellow Eurovision participants, I can see why she wants to do it. But personally, for me, I would prefer her as the main host.
Yeah, Chantal's going to lead. I know that for sure. And then it's just a question of who's going to be joining her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you for hearing our initial thoughts on the hosts for this year. If you have some thoughts, let us know via our social media channels. We are ESCXTRA on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and also obviously YouTube, which is where you are now. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel and push the bell to get all the notifications from when we upload new content. There'll be plenty to come in the coming months in the Up to Rotterdam, especially, and also look out for our prediction content that's coming later this month.
For now, thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.